Why was the Berlin Wall's fall a Cold War turning point? Imagine a city split into by a concrete barrier that symbolized more than just a physical divide. That barrier was the Berlin Wall, built in 1961 to stop East Germans from fleeing to the West. It was a stark symbol of the Cold War, showing how the world was divided into two opposing camps. On one side was the communist East, controlled by the Soviet Union, and on the other was the capitalist West, led by the United States. This division wasn't just about geography but about two very different ways of life and governance. The wall was meant to keep East Germans from leaving, which was draining skilled workers and undermining the socialist government. But over time, it became a symbol of repression, showing how the communist system was failing to give its people freedom or prosperity. As years went by, cracks appeared. Economic problems grew worse in the Soviet Union, and reforms like glasnost and perestroika introduced by Mikhail Gorbachev in 1985 started changing the political landscape. People in Eastern Europe began demanding more rights and freedoms, pushing for change. In 1989, the East German government faced mounting pressure from its citizens. They wanted to travel freely and have a say in their government. On November 9th of that year, the government announced that East Germans could cross the border freely. This decision was a turning point. Thousands of people flooded through the gates, tearing down parts of the wall in celebration. It was a moment that symbolized the collapse of communist control in Eastern Europe. The fall of the wall sped up the end of communist governments across the region. Countries like Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Hungary moved toward democracy. The event also led to the reunification of Germany, which was officially completed in 1990. This was more than just unifying a country. It was a sign that the Soviet Union's influence was waning. 2 years later, in 1991, the Soviet Union itself dissolved. This event proved that the communist system could not survive without suppressing basic freedoms. It showed that economic and political reforms, while necessary, were not enough to keep the system alive. The fall of the Berlin Wall was a clear sign that the Cold War was coming to an end. It marked the physical and ideological collapse of the division between East and West, signaling the failure of Soviet-style communism to maintain control in Eastern Europe. This moment changed the course of history, leading to the end of the Cold War era and transforming the global political landscape forever.